Calabar's Falcon Eye. Senate receives 2022-2024 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper for consideration. Plus, House of Representatives proposes setting up of special unit under mobile police to tackle insecurity. Details of this and more shortly. Good evening. Many thanks for joining Nta Calabar News at 7. I am Maureen Jom. Now the news in detail. President Muhammadu Buhari has expressed the need for all strategic institutions to collaborate towards securing the nation's territory. The president, in a message delivered by Vice President Yemi Osibajo at the inauguration of the Falcon Eye system project of the Nigerian Navy, says the administration has demonstrated in various ways its determination to the safety of the country. State House correspondent Jide Onifade tells us more.
That incorporate various sensors located along the nation's enormous coastline, such as radars, long-range electro-optic systems with thermal or night vision capability. The Falcon Eye system will serve as a force multiplier for the nation's naval platforms tasked to effectively secure the maritime environment. It will also enable the Nigerian Navy to effectively combat any maritime crime that could disrupt the conduct of maritime trade.
So given our economic aspirations and our commitment to international trade, ensuring the security of shipping lanes within the proximate waters is in our national interest.
It is estimated that Nigeria loses about $26.3 billion annually to various forms of criminality, particularly piracy and sea robbery. The Buhari administration, he says, has demonstrated a clear commitment to building the capacity of strategic institutions to secure coastal waters and the precincts of the country's maritime neighborhood.
The federal government has significantly increased our national capabilities in the area of maritime surveillance and criminal interdiction within our territorial waters. It is clear that this administration has invested substantial resources in steadily building our sovereign capacity for total spectrum dominance of our maritime environment. And on behalf of Mr. President, I wish to urge all the relevant strategic institutions and stakeholders to collaborate in the pursuit of this all-important endeavor in the national interest.
The Vice President commended the officers, men and women of the Nigerian Navy for their service in various theaters and expressed gratitude of the nation and the resolute support of the administration. From the Naval Headquarters in Abuja, Jide Onif.
Meanwhile, President Muhammadu Buhari has transmitted the 2022 to 2024 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper to the Senate for consideration. The documents have been referred to a Senate Joint Committee on Security and Committee on Finance as lead committee. Meanwhile, Senate has confirmed the appointment of 5 nominees as commissioners of the Independent National Electoral Commission. This followed the consideration of the report of Senate Committee on Independent National Electoral Commission, which screened the presidential nominees. Professor Muhammad Akala, Northwest, Professor Kunle Ajayi, Southwest, Saidu Ahmed, Northwest, Dr. Bababila, Northeast, and Professor Abdullahi Zulu, Northwest. It stepped down the confirmation of Professor Sani Adam for further investigation on petitions received against him, while that of Loretta Onochie was rejected on grounds of federal character principle, as Delta State already has May Agbamuche Mbu as commissioner in INEC.
The Senate may wish to recall that in 2016, the 8th Senate passed, based on the recommendation of its INEC committee, confirmed Barrister May Obamuche Mbu from Delta State as the National Commissioner of INEC, who is still serving at present. Therefore, confirming the nomination of Mrs. Loretta Onochi from the same Delta State will be a violation of federal character principles.
That these nominees are not representing states. They are national commissioners representing geopolitical zones, that, even though it's not in the Constitution, but they are picked from certain parts of the country.
Similarly, the House of Representatives is proposing the setting up of a special unit under the mobile police to undergo special training and armored deployment of 1,000 each to all states of the Federation to combat insecurity. This forms part of recommendations submitted by the House Special Committee on National Security, chaired by the Speaker, Femi Gbajabiamila. The House also suggested the creation of a new team under the Nigerian Police Force that will be trained to work with guards of Nigeria forests. Other recommendations considered and adopted include the possible use of private defense contractors for targeted security operations such as insurgency and terrorism. The report, which is the outcome of the Summit on National Security organized by the House of Representatives, is to be forwarded to the Executive for implementation. In another development, Chairman House of Representatives Committee on Information, National Orientation, Ethics and Values, Segun Odebumi, also sponsor of the Nigeria Press Council and the National Broadcasting Commission Amendment Bill, says the House has agreed to suspend the bill. Odebumi, in an exclusive interview, explained that the suspension is to allow for proper consultations over the bill. The lawmaker forwarded claims that the bill was targeted at guarding the media. He rather maintained that it is aimed at removing identified hindrances for optimal performance. The suspension comes after the bill was widely criticized by Nigerians, mostly media operators who believe it is aimed at stiffening its operations. Meanwhile, several newspapers in Nigeria on Monday published an advertorial against media regulation bills being considered at the National Assembly. Now to security matters. One of the kidnapped students of Bethel Baptist Secondary School in the Chukun local government area of Kaduna State has been rescued, according to the police. Gunmen had on July 5th stormed the school and whisked away 121 students to an unknown destination. 5 days after, the abductors demanded food items from their parents to enable them feed their children, warning that failure will expose the children to impending starvation. Worried by the situation, the distraught parents of the abducted students held prayer session for the rescue of their children. Mass school kidnapping have been on the increase in the northwestern part of the country, with the students of the Bethel Baptist High School, Kaduna, being one of the latest. The student rescued today, Abraham Aniya, was found roaming inside a forest along with 2 other kidnapped victims. According to a police statement signed by spokesperson Mohammed Jaligi, they were found roaming the forest extremely exhausted and weak by police operatives and men of the civilian JTF on routine patrol. The victims have been safely evacuated and rushed to a police clinic for resuscitation, after which they will be handed over to their families. And from Aba, Abia State is a report that 1 year down the line, financial autonomy granted local government is yet to make any meaningful impact. Let's join Grace Nana for more.
The third tier of government is created to bring development to the grassroots. That policy has remained in theory only, making the federal government to sign an executive order granting financial autonomy to local governments to enable it to function properly.
Section 7 of the 1999 Constitution has made provision for the autonomy of the local government structure. And it even goes on to say that the local government should be democratically elected government. Talking about financial autonomy, the Constitution has also made provision for the financial independence of the local government. But the powers that be do not want to enforce it.
Here in Abia State, only 2 local government elections were conducted between 2015 and 2020, leaving the councils in the hands of caretaker committee chairmen. However, with the conduct of local government polls December last year, the story changed, with elected officials piloting the affairs at that tier.
Abia is trying in the sense that, 1, we have a democratically elected local government. Other states are still running transition committees.
Our expectations are very high. But because we have been starved for a very long time, and Nigerians know how to be very patient, We are watching them. They are promising, like in my own local government. I am seeing good signs.
Respondents are of the opinion that with improved funding, local government administrators no longer have excuse for poor performance.
These funds are being made available so that the people can feel the impact of governance. And that can only be secured if corruption, which is the bane of most of our developmental projects, if it's eliminated from the system. And to eliminate this, a lot of work we need to do.
The local government councils are more like appendages of the state government. They don't have financial autonomy. You don't find them execute projects that are in sync with the quantum of finances that go through the system. And in that way, they don't meet their statutory obligations at the local level.
As a matter of fact, if the money is left to the local government to develop the government are utilized judiciously by the local governments, we don't have problem. The local government don't need to pester the states, because they will take care of all the small roads in the streets. They will take care of the abattoir, take care of markets, take care of health.
Public opinion in Aba is that local governments should take advantage of the full autonomy granted them to turn things around in order to improve the lives of people at the grassroots.
And you are watching News Reaching You from the studio of Nta Calabar. You can watch this newscast on our YouTube channel at youtube.com/Nta Calabar. We'll take a break and we'll be right back.
As news breaks from the north, south, east, and west of Nigeria, we bring it to you. News from the length and breadth of Cross River State is sent to you via this channel.
With movers and shakers in various spheres of influence talking to us, we carve a niche and showcase our experience in broadcasting, because it's Nta Calabar before others.
You can't get this anywhere else. It's only here on Nta Calabar News, showing at these times 3 p.m. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and 7 p.m. every day. Nta Calabar News. Our experience counts.
Welcome back to the rest of the news. Eligible Nigerians have been enjoined to take advantage of the online voter registration and physical voter registration exercise slated for Monday, 19 July 2021 and get registered ahead of the 2023 general elections. Cross River State President, Electoral Commissioner Dr. Manuel Hart said this during a courtesy visit to the management of Nta Calabar. Correspondent tells us more.
The Independent National Electoral Commission commenced online voter registration on the 28th of June 2021, but the level of awareness of the citizenry on the development is low.
Actually, I'm not aware, but though a friend sent a link which I have not opened yet.
Some of us who are here, I can say yes, they are aware of it, but it needs those who are in rural area that they think the campaign can go there so that they can be aware also.
This explains the imperative of the visit by the resident electoral commissioner, Cross River State, to the management of Nta Calabar. The Rep. Dr. Hart said the online voter registration is to decongest the registration area, and those who register online have to visit the INEC offices, both at state and local government areas, to complete the process. He emphasized that permanent voter card is to be collected where one's polling unit is located upon presentation of temporary voter card.
The fiscal is starting on the 19th of this month. You have to be a Nigerian. 1. You have to be 18 plus. 2. Male, female, youth, and PWDs, people with disabilities. You see how I'm emphasizing that? Because they are part of the society, and whatever thing we do, we have to take them along.
General Manager Nta Calabar Sam Olalude promised to ensure the Nigerian public received requisite electoral education through partnership with the electoral umpire.
we will give room as NTA to INEC, because it's not enough for this courtesy visit that will propagate all this enlightenment campaign. We will implore the REC that you make yourself available when our people come either for interviews or for live presence in our studios, so that we can do more of this enlightenment.
INEC assures of adequate logistics put in place to ensure eligible Nigerians partake in the exercise, including people with disabilities. In Calabar, Maureen Leo Ajom, NTA News.
Citizens' involvement in electioneering process begins with having the permanent voters card, and this call for all stakeholders to be engaged in enlightenment and mobilization of eligible voters and relevant government agencies to step up their gains. Clement Bariku reports on the online registration situation in Uyo, Akwa Ibom State prior to the physical biometric capturing.
I'm aware that it is ongoing, but I haven't done mine yet because I've not had the time to leave work to go and do it.
Okay, I don't have time. Maybe when I have time, maybe when I'm on leave, I'll go for it.
Now, as a Nigerian, I should obey the law. I have my voter's card.
The pre-registration statistics by the Independent National Electoral Commission shows that Akwa Ibom State recorded 3,632 enrollees for the online voter registration 2 weeks after the commencement of the exercise, although very commendable compared to figures from some states of the Federation. Some residents said Akwa Ibom State ought to have surpassed the 3,000 figure if the relevant state government agencies were carrying out the needed enlightenment, particularly in rural communities.
We are not always working ahead of time. We wait until the 11th hour. The 11th hour rush is always the worst. That is why our people are always disenfranchised.
There should be sensitization. You get everybody involved in the mobilization process.
But it is not enough for you to sit online and register. They will still capturing. That is actually the real registration.
The online voter registration exercise is to reduce crowd at various INEC offices pending the commencement of physical biometric capturing, expected to begin on July 19. In Uyo, Clement Barkui, NTA News.
And to COVID-19 update, the Nigerian Center for Disease Control has confirmed 161 new cases of COVID-19 in Nigeria. The statistics shows that Lagos has the highest number of 153 cases, followed by the Federal Capital Territory, which has 4, Gombe 2, Oyo and Rivers 1 case each. The total confirmed cases of the pandemic in the country stands at 168,713, with 164,476 persons discharged, while 2,124 persons did not survive the virus. Nigerian Muslims will observe the 2021 Eid al-Kabir on Tuesday, 20th July 2021. The Sultan of Sokoto and President General, Nigerian Supreme Council for Islamic Affairs, Alhaji Said Abubakar III, also declared Sunday 11 as the first day of Dhul Hijjah 1442 Ash, which is the 12 months of the Islamic calendar. Eid al-Kabir is usually celebrated 10 days after, which is equivalent to the 10th of Dhul Hijjah 1442 Hajj. The Sultan urged the Muslim Ummah to continue to pray for peace, progress and development in the country. He felicitates Nigerian Muslims Ummah and wished them Allah's guidance and happy Eid al-Kabir in advance. And that's it on the news, but before we go, a quick recap of our major stories. President Muhammadu Buhari has inaugurated the Falcon Eye System project of the Nigerian Navy and expressed the need for strategic institutions to collaborate towards security in the nation's territory. President Muhammadu Buhari has also transmitted 2022 to 2024 medium-term expenditure framework and fiscal strategy paper to the Senate for consideration. You also heard in the news that the House of Representatives is proposing the setting up of a special unit in the mobile police to undergo special training for onward deployment to states to combat insecurity. That's about the size of the package for tonight. Thanks for watching and enjoy the rest of our programs.